How's it going, ladies and persons? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Novena Diabolos. It's time for us to pick another person to visit, and we've pretty much narrowed it down to two left that we are sure aren't the culprits of at least the first three murders. So let's start with them. We did Hana. Let's go back to Sumi. We're just going to jump back and forth between Sumi and Hana for now. Even though Sumi creeps me the fuck out. Let's go. I should go see Sumi. I arrive at the abandoned school. Sumi. She's here again as well. She's meditating like usual. Feels good to see a familiar face. Being able to have someone I can exchange a few words with in this godforsaken place is a small amount of comfort. All this time I've been meaning to ask why she picked this spot of all places. But every time I was about to ask, things, well, escalated. I suddenly get flashbacks and recall the rough treatment Sumi's given me on previous visits. She said she's done last time. If that means no more rituals, I should be fine, right? Hey, Sumi. I'm here. What? What did I do this time? You shouldn't be moving around so recklessly. You will die. You really like to emphasize that, don't you? I'm just here because I was worried about you. Worried? You mentioned exercising evil? Your worries are unwarranted. Okay. I take it that means this whole exorcism thing is going well. Sumi doesn't answer. Why am I not surprised? The silence following my question, however, feels strangely different this time. Puzzled by the sudden change in atmosphere, I look at Sumi. I have more preparations to make. Okay. I'm curious and would love to inquire further, but I have a feeling it would get me nowhere. I don't expect her to answer any of my questions anyway. Still, I get the impression that something she had in mind didn't quite go according to plan. Well, I'm busy, so I'll take my leave. Whoa there. Ouch. Out of nowhere, Sumi suddenly collapses and falls down. Hey, Sumi, are you okay? Don't make such a fuss. What's wrong with you? Sumi loudly holds me back and slowly gets back up, proceeding to pack her things as if nothing ever happened. What's her deal? Wait. I take a look at Sumi's legs. Something about them looks strange. There it is. I can see a big black bruise. Hey, what's wrong with your legs? I know she must have heard me loud and clear, yet Sumi doesn't answer. Instead, she simply picks up the immensely heavy-looking bag. Nothing. Where are you going? Hey, don't overdo it, you're straining yourself. This thing's so heavy. I'm not going anywhere like this. Well, that's a relief, sort of. That's a normal reaction for once. So, where are you headed? Why do you have that look on your face? What, me? I stutter a little and feel caught. I must have done a really bad job at hiding my relief. So anyway, where do you want to go just now? There is a motel nearby. The one in Hope Hill. What a pleasant coincidence. I'm staying there too, so we can go there together. You're staying there? Where else would I find a place to sleep? Where else would I find a place to sleep or any? Sumi, apparently somewhat skeptical of my words, starts walking toward the village without saying anything. Hey, I said we're going together. I quickly catch up to Sumi and start walking alongside her. Give me all that baggage of yours. You don't have to. I grab her things without bothering to take no for an answer. I get the feeling she really wants to complain, but after a while she accepts it and quietly follows me. And I arrive at the motel carrying something that's much heavier than it looks. I try really hard to make it look like I'm not struggling with the weight. A few moments later, Sumi and I arrive at the door to the room she's staying in. Now return my things to me. Sure thing, can you open the door first? It's fine, if you could just give them back right now, please. We're almost there, so I might as well cross the finish line. Just open it already. Sumi's audibly annoyed and searches through her bag. I feel like I'm gradually learning how to communicate effectively with her. Well, just don't give her a choice. Oh, what is it? Key. Key, you mean the room key? Is it gone? Handbag. Handbag? Is that where you put it? Then where's the handbag? Oh, right. The office at the abandoned school. It's there. You left it there? Are you sure about that? Yes, I remember now. I'll be back. Hey, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? I'll find it. You will? Yeah. Why? Sumi asks a really important question. Well, you see, I can't have you walking around out there alone with your injuries, can I? I'll go get it for you, so don't worry. Anyway, let's go to my room and see if you're hurt. Something tells me Sumi's not fully convinced yet. By now, I've learned that waiting for her to reply is a waste of time in most cases. I open the door to my room, which happens to be right behind me. Your room is right in front of mine. I don't answer and push Sumi back to get her into the room. Sumi's back to get her into my room. Sumi, having entered my room without offering much resistance, leans against the wall. Something tells me that she'll no longer be so stubborn. Show me your feet. There's a deep dark blue bruise on the foot that Sumi pushes out. Good thing I have an ointment for bruises like that. I take the ointment from my first aid kit and carefully apply it to Sumi's foot. It must really hurt. Sumi's legs are fiercely shaking as I apply the ointment. Want to tell me what happened? I know what I'm doing. Is this from one of your exorcisms? Is it normal for you to get injured like this? It was just a stupid mistake. I'm not fully used to it yet. Used to it? To what? My question remains unanswered, which is something I've already gotten used to. I respond with a shrug. Any reason in particular why you're up and about when you're this hurt? I ask her, fully prepared to receive the same silent treatment as always. It's hard to get to know her better when I mostly end up talking to myself. Because I have to drive out the evil that lingers. The plague-spreading ghost. Yes, I have to get rid of it. I'm positively surprised at Sumi briefly letting me in on what happened. I try not to show it openly, but I feel like I've gotten a little closer to Sumi without really realizing it. Alright, that's that. I finish wrapping a tight bandage around the bruised areas that I've treated with the ointment. I stabilize it with tape and look at Sumi. Sumi fiddles around with the bandage and looks at it with a mixture of curiosity and amazement. Then she looks back at me. When did you learn to do that? School of life. Just happened naturally. What do you mean? Oftentimes in my fieldwork, I can't afford to take a rest when I'm hurt. That's why I need to know these things to keep moving. Sounds like you must be busy. That's a PD's life, always busy, always on the move. And I'm proud of it. Hey, it already hurts less now. Don't start moving around just yet though. I've only done some basic first aid measures. Something the matter? Are you kinder than you look? Was that supposed to be an insult? No? Well, anyway, I'll head to the abandoned school. You said the key's in your handbag, right? In the office room. It's red. Red handbag, office. Got it. I'll come back soon. Lay low until then. Beware of those in long black robes. I'm sorry, what? Black robes? Yes, they possess great power. You're no match for them. If you spot them, run. Hide. Run away. Sumi sounds uncharacteristically caring. She's serious. I can tell by the look in her eyes. Oh, we've met them. Black robes. Don't tell me. She's talking about them. Okay. If I see one, I'll hide. Promise. With these words, I leave my room. Time to head to the abandoned school. Huh. On my way to the school, I spot two villagers. They're engaged in a conversation, and I have no clue they have no clue that I'm nearby. What do I do? Should I eavesdrop? Yes, eavesdrop. I sneakily hide in the large shadow of a nearby building. I focus all my attention on their conversation. There's an abandoned school over that way. Abandoned? How come? Well, I had some business nearby actually. I heard a sound, something awfully loud. Something strange went on in there. That sound sent shivers down my spine. Don't be afraid of things like that. It's most likely the priests doing their thing. People like us shouldn't pry. Let's just leave them alone. It's better that way. Let's get to work now instead of talking. The two men walk away. Does that mean something happened at the school? I stand there with a puzzled look on my face for a while, then keep walking. I guess I'll see for myself soon. I guess you will. There's a soul-crushing aura surrounding the school, decrepit and on the brink of collapse. This doesn't seem like a place anyone should ever enter. I'm worried because of what I've heard those villagers say earlier. Did something happen here? Come on, Junsung, keep it together. I mean, we've been here a few times now. I try to calm myself down and slowly enter the abandoned school. The school itself isn't actually that big, so finding the office that Sumi mentioned isn't too difficult. However, I sense something dark and unsettling coming from inside the office. I hesitate and wait in front of the door for a while. I'm such a coward. I take a deep breath and thoroughly ready myself, mentally preparing for the worst. Everything is weird around here. Being nervous is perfectly reasonable, but I can't just stand still and wait for things to suddenly change. Determined, I open the door and step into the office. The place is a mess. Ravage doesn't even begin to describe it. Shattered windows and scratches that I can't quite place. Enough to make me realize something unusual happened here. Are these traces of Sumi's exorcism, I wonder? My eyes wander around the room. Ah, there it is. A red handbag. Just like Sumi said. I pick up the handbag and look inside. Sumi's right. There's a key in there with the number 303 on it. Thank God. Lucky me, this went a lot better than expected. I take another look around the office. Might as well check if there's anything else of interest here. I doubt there's anything here, but I mumble to myself and start to rummage through the office. I look through the room, but nothing catches my eye. It's an abandoned school, neglected and forgotten. It's only natural there'd be nothing left here. I sigh and reach out to the last remaining broken down cabinet. I open the cabinet door. Inside there's a diary? Looks like an elementary school diary. I casually pick it up. I start going through the diary. The entry I'm at is written all childlike, crooked letters, and there are traces of a teacher having made corrections. I flip the diary and look at its front again. It's written in 1979. 1979, wow. This is the diary of someone much older than me. The thought makes me feel strange, despite it being a regular, simple diary otherwise. I open the cabinet door again. I put the diary back and take another one out. Junsuk Park. I turned the page while reading the diary owner's name. School started today. Yesterday, the daughter from that shaman's house Mummy told me about transferred here. Her name is Sumi Choi. Her hair is white, as Granny's. Her bangs look shabby. The kids make fun of her and says that she's ugly and poor. Sumi Choi? I look at the diary's front cover again. 1979. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Maybe it's just a coincidence? The name's not exactly common, but also not one that's so unique it only exists once. But the name's Sumi Choi. A mention of shamanism. White hair. What are the chances? I was told Sumi could potentially be a witch. In that case, could the witch maybe have borrowed the body of Sumi Choi, who lived in the past? Oh man. Still trying my hardest to process what I found, I take a deep breath and keep reading. The ugly girl has no one but her father, so the teacher told us to be nice. But she's really unfriendly and doesn't even answer when she's asked something. Sounds like Sumi to me. She gets angry when you keep asking. She reminds me of some crazy stray dog, so I'm scared. After school, I told my mummy about the ugly girl. But mummy said the whole shaman family is dirty and I shouldn't play with her. February 20th, 1979. After school, I saw the ugly girl while I was walking home with Kwon. I saw kids throwing dirt at her, and we did too. The ugly girl became angry and chased us away. We ran and played some more. March 5th, 1979. Today the ugly girl walked home alone again. I often see her because her house is in the same direction as mine. I quietly walked behind her. I was the only one who didn't throw dirt at her today. I saw the ugly girl helping the old lady next door. She had problems crossing the small stream nearby because of her bad legs, and the ugly girl helped her cross it. The old lady's really nice, so I ran and helped as well. She gave us steamed sweet potatoes to thank us both. I don't think the ugly girl is evil. March 6, 1979. Today the kids threw dirt at the ugly girl while she was walking home alone. Kwon too, but I didn't. The others looked at me strangely, but I didn't want to. June followed me and asked me what the matter was. I told him I was annoyed and just wanted to go home. March 7th, 1979. I decided to talk to the ugly girl today. I told myself I wouldn't get scared if she got angry again. I asked her what she was going to do once she was home. She said it was none of my business. I got angry too and we ended up fighting again. I was angry, but Giyong came and said something mean to her, so she fought him instead. I apologized to her later. March 14th, 1979. I've been walking home together with her for a few days already now. At first she seemed not to like it, but now she speaks normally and even answers me when I ask her something. The other kids give me strange looks when they see us together. I'm worried that they'll bully me too. I saw Byung-kyu watching us closely. March 15th, 1979. While walking home with the ugly girl, Byung-kyu, who usually bullies her, threw dirt at me. When she saw this, she became furious and chased Byung-kyu. Then she beat him up. I've never seen her hit someone before. When Byung-kyu started crying like a baby, I had to laugh. He was too scared to even make eye contact with her. It was so funny. The diary ends here. I look at the pile with the other ones. If I keep reading through those, I might be able to find out more about this person named Sumi Choi who was around in 1979. However, a lot of time has passed already, and the later it gets, the harder it is to move around. I take the diary and leave the school. Junsuk Park. I should definitely investigate that person further. Agreed. It's so late already. The very first thing I hear upon entering my room is Sumi's stern, reprimanding voice. It looks like I was so immersed in the diary while reading it that I lost track of time, but I can't tell her about that now. Sorry about that. Here you go. I pass the red handbag to Sumi. Sumi takes a look to check if the key's there, and gets up, straining to pick up her baggage. Then I'll leave now. Hold on a sec. I'll carry your things. No need. Still so cold. And here I was, wondering if maybe I'd managed to get a little closer to her. I walk behind Sumi, unable to see through her enigmatic personality. Sumi, having opened the door, tries to move all her baggage on her own. There's really no need for her to act so prideful. I approach her and help her carry the things inside. I wait until she's inside her room, and then move her baggage inside, carefully setting it down. Don't remove the bandage yet. Yeah. Well, I move back to my room. Sumi Choi, 1979. I have no idea what to make of that yet. I think I'm on the trail of something very important here. I have to find out more about the diary's original owner. Junsuk Park. Maybe we went back in time. Maybe this whole thing is taking place back in time. It's past regular lunchtime already. I decided to explore the surroundings as planned. Investigate the murder site already wasted some time this morning. I should settle for one place in particular today. Alright then, where should I investigate? Let's finish the forest. Aren't we nearly done with that? Yeah, last one. I go to the warehouse in the forest. A warehouse located in the forest. This village was made only for the devil. It seems like the necessary construction materials were procured from the forest. In other words, the villagers visited this place a lot. They probably left a lot behind. Okay, I should focus on this place today. Alright, here we go. Plenty of books have been piled up. I wonder if there could be any evidence inside. It's a book about past events. Fox Spirit Hunting 6. Okay. We've got one. We'll read that later. No point reading the thing because it always comes up with the same stuff anyway. I find all kinds of clutter in a wheelbarrow. Seems to have been used as a trash can. I don't want to look through this. I gingerly reach out and rummage through the trash. Among all the other trash, I find a magazine looking pretty intact. Nice. Rope. All manner of tools are lying around. There's a trustworthy and steady tool that could be used for all kinds of things. The problem is I don't need it right now. I take a step back, scratching my head. Guess we'll need to grab that later. I look inside the water barrel. The inside is covered in ashes, probably from a fire. There isn't much of anything left. I turn my head and spot something next to the water barrel. It's a magazine. Satanism. Cool, monthly Satanism. My favourite magazine. There's a whole book inside. That's suspicious. Seems my PD senses kicked in. I scrutinise the book, but it's just some sort of essay. Why would anyone leave an essay here? I chuck it aside, annoyed. I spot a wooden crate. What's this? I crouch over it and take a look inside. This is... One book sticks out from the rest and I lift it up. Lust? Woman? I'm dumbfounded for a moment. To find something like that in a place like this. There's no such thing as abstinence in this religious doctrine. I mumble to myself and throw the book back into the crate. Okay. I spot a large wooden crate. It's so large that it would have been hard to miss. Let's see. I take a look inside the crate. What do we got? Succubus 1. Okay, we're going to read that later. We haven't had a chance to read Succubus 1 yet. Water barrel. Nothing. I take a step back, scratching my head. Got this one. Cardboard box. Stamp because it was left standing outside for so long. There's mold around the tape. Gross. I gingerly opened the box with 2 fingers leaning as far away as from possible. Suck. I discovered a book inside. It's about a creature called the succubus. It's pretty interesting stuff. I put the book in my bag. And we're done. That's all for now. Alright, let's go through it. Shall we? Like we usually do. I'll start with the village logs. Get those out of the way. Alright, this is going to be the rest of the episode probably, so if you want lore, settle in, and if not, you might as well leave now. Demogorgon and the Sin of Wrath. Derek Allen, 21st century demonologist, published an interesting theory. We've read that. Originally governed by Satan, Wrath was passed to a demon named Berith, who soon rebelled. However, Berith was slain by Satan, and the throne of Wrath was passed down again, this time to Demogorgon. In Catholic teachings, Wrath has the inability to control and contains one anger, causing harm to those around a person. This sin is one of the most vicious, responsible for many terrible massacres throughout history, according to Derek Allen. Demogorgon is wild and temperamental, unlike Satan, who's more dignified and calm. He tried to solidify his position through pure brute force, and many were affected by his hot-headed, violent actions. Just think of how many people these days casually talk about going to anger management. Some people even justify their aggressive behavior, saying that giving in would be a sign of weakness. This shows that a lot of people in modern society still embrace their anger instead of trying to distance themselves from it. Anger is meant to be controlled and contained, not to be carried outwards. Those who claim it is simply part to their nature. This is simply part to their nature, have already fallen victim to Demogorgon's wicked influence. Ritual info doll offerings. Well, that's quite relevant, isn't it? All 3 of our murder cases have had that. Summoning a monster must be awe-inspiring, right? I doubt you've ever pulled it off. If you did, you wouldn't be reading this right now, huh? Our magazine has prepared a special lasting multiple months on all things ritualistic. This piece here is all about doll offerings. Every monster demands a sacrifice. Our first thoughts upon hearing that are of bloody goats and chicken heads, but in this case it's less bloody and not necessarily a gift, but an object used to bind the monster to the place where it was summoned, a contractual anchor of sorts. This offer is to fit unique specifications depending on the monster. For example, what could a siren want? The bloody heart of a man? A pretty seashell? Nope. Try again. What we actually need is a straw doll. Even if it sounds strange at first, one may think of the doll as used as a replacement for a human body, but it's actually because the monster needs something to hold on to. That means the real thing is luckily not needed. It just so happens sirens prefer a straw doll. It is said monsters summoned this way usually stick around for about half an hour. Think you've got the social skills to talk to a demonic creature without striking a fatal deal by accident? Probably not. And we've got monster info. Succubus. Succubus Summoning Diaries 1. December 5th, 1484, a guidebook to hunting witches called Hammer of Witches is published by Heinrich Kramer. Said to have inspired countless witch hunts, the book describes methods of discovering witches, as well as methods of dealing with them, most involving inhumane torture. Also, this book was the first to offer a definition of the term succubus as we know it today. Although the great source of fear for some citizens, there were those fascinated by and drawn to the book, among them Federico da Montefeltro, whose story shall be told here. Driven by lust and his sexual desires, this nobleman vowed to summon the charming succubus to spend a night in her embrace. 1493. The beginning of Federico's research, he tasked one of his maids with investigating the deaths of people around him, under the pretext of collecting information on a disease to aid a doctor he's friends with. However, his instructions grew increasingly bizarre. Federico explicitly wanted to hear stories of people who died in a state of trance after being manipulated and deceived. Wanted to hear about those who died on the brink of insanity. Though unnerved by these strange instructions, the maid followed her master's orders. Furthermore, the maid was driven by the thought that she could potentially aid the master's doctor friend with his work. Diligently conducting investigations, the maid was finally able to provide Federico with the kind of story he was looking for. The maid was still unaware of the truth then. All the deaths shared similarities commonly associated with the work of a succubus, the very same creature her master was intent on summoning. A monster of deception. That's going to be useful. Alright, fox spirit. Alright, we've done the excerpt here. 1919, month X, day X. A month has passed since Chun Ho's hunt for the fox spirit began. Oh wait, no, we're not up to 6. We'll read this one later. Forest is the location. That makes sense. And river, also. Forest and river. Okay. Yeah, we don't read them until we're in order, right? Monster type deception. We don't know if the vampire does sound like a monster of deception as well, right? That would make sense. So we don't have any... We're not actually any closer to any answers at the moment. But it'll come in handy shortly. I took too long. I should go out before the villagers find out. I take a look at what I've gathered so far on my phone. 2 pieces of monster information as well as 3 village logs. Good. I should give all this a careful read. Oh, I just did. Alright, so as to not let this run on way too long, because it just saved, we're going to wrap this one up here at 26 minutes. That seems pretty good, because if I do another one, you know it's going to run on to like 45. But I think we are a little bit closer now, and it sounds like Sumi might be a monster too. So that might already give us our answer, that the lawyer girl, the one who's meant to be the fox spirit, might be the human. But it's too early to say for certain. Let's leave it there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks again out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.